Hello there. Good evening. How's it going? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's perfectly clear at Starfront. Beautiful skies, except for the moon. And here there was a tornado warning or something up until like an hour and a half ago, and I hear thunder in the distance. Well, not actually in the distance, but I hear thunder. So hopefully the stream won't go down. Hello, Cheap Astro. Okay, thanks for popping by, even if it was just briefly. Good afternoon, Stephen. Hello, Sun Goku. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so I only have the scope going at Starfront, but it seems to be working, and I already have it powered on. I could have probably gone live a little bit earlier, but inevitably I never have enough time to get things. It's always a rush, because by the time it gets dark enough to start aligning things, like I only have if anything goes wrong, I end up having problems. Hello, Seiko. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Hi, Jeff. How's it going? Hello, Turf. Good to see you all. I see that Jeff is already live at Starfront, so I need to do the same. So let's get to it. I'm look at that lovely moon just blasting down. I am definitely open to suggestions if anybody has any tonight. If not, I will try to figure something out. It's not going to be the greatest because of the moon, but we'll work around it. And I'll go ahead and bring in Jeff's scope, because I see he's already imaging M97 and M108. The galaxy in the upper right is M108, and M97 is the nebula in the lovely green nebula in the lower right. I always think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, some Dragon Ball Z. See, that would mess up the tides. So I think just if we could just paint it, maybe that's ultra black kind of thing. That would look kind of cool, because then it would be like a black hole. It would, it would just be black, a hole. But then it wouldn't mess up the tides. Cave Johnson here. Hello, good evening. Okay, so let's figure something out. Any requests? If not, I will pick something. I do have a few things. I don't have them on the topic list, but a few little things to talk about today. But otherwise, it's just kind of picking a few targets, trying to image around the moon, and just chatting. Not that that's much different than the average night, the average stream. And I was looking at it. It looks like it's going to be great tomorrow night at Starfront as well. I'm not sure that I'm trying to avoid doing back-to-back streams if it looks like it's going to be clearer later in the week, and it does. Like Friday, Saturday, it might be clearer either here or at Starfront. And so tomorrow evening I might do a Discord-only stream. Or maybe I'll do maybe I'll do one of those YouTube short streams again. I didn't do it tonight because I was streaming to YouTube Shorts and YouTube at the same time, and a lot of people clicked on the short link that normally would watch the normal link, because it shows up next to each other. So I might try that tomorrow. M106, M63, enjoying the beer. Nice. M106. So is that a request of one of those two? Actually, because I was looking at M106, so let me go ahead and start with that. Because I was actually looking at something near M106. Let me pull this up here. So, I was actually looking at something maybe slightly off center here, so I might center it on this one. Because I want to see what this is about over here. So I'm going to do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to pull that in. I can show. Let me bring it up. I've got. Let's open that in a new tab, and I'll pull in the coordinates of that NGC object. So I'm going to go M106, and just for extremely verbose names, and I'll try it for an hour. Not necessarily going to go for an hour, but at least it kicks off something. Yeah, cool. So we'll start with that. And I'll move over to this. But yeah, I was looking at that and kind of intrigued by something I saw, but it might be too small. But at least M106 should be nice. Let's see. And I might. Let me see. Yeah, that moon. That is one crazy moon. Of course, it would clear up just in time for the moon to be bright all night. Okay, why is it? Okay, took 4 plate solves, but it was fine. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a good idea. Hopefully, this is far enough away. We shall find out soon. Oh, is it doing an autofocus? I thought I'd kicked off the initialization, but I guess it was still wanted to do something, which is weird. Okay, it's got 1 frame, and usually an image shows up around the 2nd frame. I think I'm gonna enlarge Jeff since he's much further along imaging tonight. I like that nebula, that M98, I believe it is. Why isn't that okay? I need to give a good look at the code. Okay, cool. Let me shrink this down temporarily because I'm thinking of trying Just trying to see which. Yeah, I'll go with that. Oops. Oh, wait. Okay. Even in spite of the moon, it just shows when your baseline light pollution isn't as bad. I mean, like, look at Jeff's result down there. That sky looks pretty good. Actually, that reminds me, I need to check some setting here, because there's this new and improved dither setting that I need to see if I had done. No. Yeah. Let's see if that works. All right. But yeah, oh, hello, Marco. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So Jeff, who's in the chat, he's I'm bringing in his Seestar from Starfront, and he's imaging M98 and M97, M108, and I am imaging. Again, I would fail at weather person school. I'm doing M106 and some of the neighboring galaxies around M106. High thin clouds. That's annoying. IC444. I'm trying to think if that one is even. Oh, that's right next to the jellyfish. What's the elevation? Yeah, it's getting kind of low to the west, unfortunately for me. Good evening, Mundus Finit. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so this is the NGC. Let me see. The other thing I've noticed is what the low objects when the moon is like this. It's like usually I can go pretty low, but when the moon is this bright, it deteriorates. I think it deteriorates more quickly. Okay, so in the center here is NGC 4248. And the reason I was interested is there's these two galaxies right here, NGC 4231 and 32. And they're interacting galaxies. Now, granted, they're probably a bit too small for us to image, but let me see what these look like. What they're supposed to look like. Looks like shoes. No, those are really faint. What in the world? Yeah, okay. That's these two. These two galaxies here. And there's quite a few galaxies in there. More than I expected. And then this one, which one is that one? That is NGC 40, 4220, I think. Yeah, 4220. That one looks a bit. It's 12th, just not quite 12th magnitude galaxy. Just trying to see if looks kind of warped there. NGC 4220. And I know I always mentioned it, but it does help with the live streams, but don't forget to like the video because it helps while I'm streaming. Yeah, that's just a lenticular galaxy. This one over here. That one is 64 million miles. 64 million miles. 64 million light years away. And how far are these little ones? 4232 is how far are those away? I get frustrated that the first hit on Google doesn't tell you. It tells you like where it is in the sky, but it's got a lot of words, not a lot of useful information. Okay, 340 to 50 million light years away. These two little ones right here, and then M106 is how far is that away? 22 million light years away. So these little ones are like 15 times farther away, which is kind of expected since they're tiny. NGC 2903. Let's look. Let me look at where that is, because that's a good one. And I'm getting more detail in this than I really was expecting. Yeah, that's a nice one. NGC 2903. Let me just get a little bit more time on this, and then I'll switch to that. Because this, I mean, given the moon, it's still not. And what is this? This little thing, and you can already, I can see a dust lane in this one. But what's that little thing? See, that's why at some point I want to have a bigger refractor at Starfront. I think that would be really awesome, especially on darker nights. What is that one? Let me see. NGC. Wait, M106. And okay, so that is NGC. The bigger one that I saw, the dust lane, is NGC 4217. And that little one actually has an NGC number. It's NGC 4226, this thing. I wonder if it's a satellite. No. It says it's a barred spiral. Oh, it claims this one claims it's almost 400 million light years away, that little one. It's a barred spiral. I thought we had clouds. Here I'm totally clouded out. This is at Starfront. So the scope below is Jeff's, and he's at Starfront as well. And but yeah, it's like thundering here. And we had like a tornado. Actually, most of the day we had tornado watch warning, whatever the lower level one is, like most of the day, which is always lovely. Yeah, always need the aperture. Yeah, see, like, kind of my aspirational scope is to get like a big Newtonian, a big fast Newtonian. But I think, yeah, some kind of scope in a dark sky. Needle Galaxy 2, like that would be a good one. Let me write that one down. And let me see which one. Needle Galaxy and NGC 2903. I want to see if one of them's closer to the horizon. NGC 4559. Okay. Oh, Ryan Hall was live streaming. Oh, yeah, that's always nice. That's always nice when the storm chasers are in your area. I remember it was around just after Christmas. I was looking, and what's the guy's name? Reed Timmons? Anyway, he was near Houston. He was like in the Houston area. I'm like, oh, that's great. You know, things are going well. Sprinkert. Rare event. Yeah. Yeah, here it's not unusual for us to be. Actually, I'm pretty happy with, I mean, like, look at this. Oh, okay. Okay. 4565. I'll look at those but yeah, let me see if I can zoom this in more. Need that enhancing button. Enhancing. Yeah, that one's doing. That's showing some detail. I'm pleasantly pleased with that, given that because Starfront had rain come through, and maybe that cleared out the air, and so even though the moon's up, maybe it's maybe the transparency's good or something. Let's reset. No, because I rotated it now. Now it's normal. Not much of a gradient on that. Wow, snow in Denver, that's crazy. Good evening, Quantum. Thanks, and thanks for liking the video. We always like the stream. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That turned out, I mean, how much time do I have on this? Only 12 minutes. And given how blindingly bright the moon is, I'm happy with that. Maybe I have maybe my standards are lower because of not standards, but my expectations are low because of years of observing in Houston. But yeah, I'm really happy with that given the moon. Okay, cool. So let me look at these other three. NGC, basically I want to see which one is lower in case one of them I need to image first. So we've got NGC 4565. Okay, needle. That's a neat one, and there's a few other galaxies in the field. Let me see if there's something that is there a different framing of this that I could pull even more galaxies in. No, those are all really tiny. Or are they? Sometimes stellarium doesn't do it justice, but I could do it slightly off-centered and get a few more galaxies in. Okay, fine. So that one is really high, 74 degrees above the horizon. That was Bernice's hair clip. Okay, that one's really high, NGC 2903. So we're good there. And NGC 4559. And that koi fish, which is interesting because I've never... Yeah, all three of them are nice and high. So I will start with the first one that was suggested of the three, 2903, which Stephen threw out there. Let me see if there's a framing here that I can pull other things in. Because there's always like other little or not always, but there's sometimes other little galaxies nearby. Ah, these are, yeah, that's kind of faint. It's good. They've got PGC numbers, which typically are really faint. I'll just center it on NGC 20. Oh wait, what's that up there? That's too far. Okay, NGC 2903. Let's start with that. Yeah, that turned out well. So let me stop that and go to I'll change targets off screen because since I zoomed in so much. Let me see. Okay. Grab that. Alright. Actually, before I do that, I want to double check my dither settings. Because we've been... Okay. This one's going to have a slightly different dither setting. But not... There's... Because equatorial mode, sometimes there'll be this this noise, kind of chroma noise in the images. People have been experimenting with 200 pixel dither settings, and I tried that last time. I didn't do that just now, but I have it set to 150 pixel dither. The default is 50, and the default is every 5 frames. I increased it to 25. Now I've dropped it back down to 11. So that's what we're going to be doing. 11 pixel dither, and let me reset this. Oops, wrong one. So yeah, we'll see how that works. All right. It's got 1 frame, 2 frames, so it should start showing the Seiko. Oh, nice. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, Abilene's not that far away from Starfront. So that should work. Cool. Cool. I hate that. I'm gonna have to reload this, and then I'm gonna have to redo the zoom. Okay. What? That doesn't look right. That's weird. Let me restart. I've just been having no end of issues with yeah. There we go. Much better. Okay, so let's rotate this again. And there we go. And we're back. So I can... And we'll let this run for about the same amount of time, the 15 minutes or so. And then we'll move on to one of those other ones. Maybe I might start with Bernice's hair clip, because that one's an interesting one, and there were a few other galaxies nearby, so that would be kind of cool. So there are other things in this field. Oh man, that might be too faint. There is an 18th magnitude galaxy somewhere in here, I think. Yeah, somewhere up here, but again, probably too faint. Hi Don, welcome. How do I keep my Seestar charged up all night? I have it plugged in. Like when I'm running at home, I do it too. I usually have either a power bank or a surge suppressor outside, and have it plugged in, because it'll run on battery part of the night, but especially if you're running the dew heater, it kind of drains pretty quickly. And since I have this at Starfront remotely, I have to have it plugged in. And actually, let me show you. Let me show here. That red thing right there is the cord. It's a USB. It is actually a red USB cord, and it's plugged into the Seestar. It's like a 6-foot cord, and it kind of goes down by this wall into an outlet. So yeah, that is how I keep it running. The only downside, since it's remote, it has gotten twisted a few times, and I've had to have them untwisted. But yeah, that's how I keep it running all the time. And basically, I leave it running all the time. Some people use like these little fingerbot kind of button pusher, USB button pushers that they control through a computer that's also sitting at Starfront. But I just leave mine on. I park it every night, so it's like closed, but it's otherwise running all the time. I've had to have them power cycle it twice, I think. Maybe only once or twice, over a few months. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's it is nice having a remote scope. Definitely handy, especially when the weather's bad wherever you are, like it is for me right now. Plus, I mean, my skies are so terrible on a good day. Yeah, getting some nice spiral detail. So that is NGC 2903. And again, all things considered, I'm pretty happy given how bright the moon is tonight. Jeff's is looking pretty good. How long have you had that running, Jeff? This okay, 50 minutes. Nice. I mean, 50 minutes of integration time, a little over an hour of actually running. Cool. Yeah, that galaxy and then the SCA 97 looks really nice. Oh, that was okay. All right, so we will try. After this. Wow, it's dropped 10 frames. Huh. I need to see if I wonder if it's the tethering. So we're up to 38 successful frames, 10 failed. And I have it dithering every 11 frames, so should dither again around 55. It's at 50. So we'll see. I was just seeing if I could see that faint galaxy. No luck. Oh, on the Starfront Discord server, I saw them talking about maybe, well, it wasn't anything official, but Bray was talking about maybe, or people were talking about doing a star party out there, maybe, and they were saying maybe this fall. So that would be kind of cool. Keep an eye out on that. Yeah, it dropped a frame right at the dither time, which is interesting. Dropped another frame. Star trails, it claims. Yeah, dropped a few in a row. It's actually dropping quite a few of them. Okay, and then it got a successful one. Okay, let me see if there's any other galaxies around here, around NGC 2903 that are in the field of view. Okay, there's one in the upper left, or it should be one up in the upper left. That should be doable. Oops. Let me just double check that I have orientation right. Yeah. So theoretically, oh, no, it's flipped. So it would be down here. Supposedly there's a galaxy somewhere around here. Maybe it's that thing. I don't know. I'm not going to change the rotation of it. I'll just zoom in here. Hello, Donkulus. Welcome. Thanks for joining. It's been a while. I like that. Everybody have a star party at Starfront, and everybody just has their computers and they're just controlling their telescope remotely. That's funny. I like that. So what is dithering every n frames? It moves the scope a little bit, so that like certain artifacts and other things, like the sensor position will be, the image will be slightly different. Like look, it'll be maybe slightly off center, the thing you're imaging. And so when all the pixels are averaged out, certain things that are intrinsic to like problems with the sensor or kind of noise and stuff get averaged out. So it's just another way of kind of improving, with a lot of exposures, kind of getting a higher signal to noise by kind of averaging out some of the bad stuff. So what am I imaging? So the thing below, or sorry, the telescope below is actually Jeff's. He's imaging M97, the nebula, and M108, the galaxy. I'm imaging to that way, NGC 2903, and I'm going to go on to another galaxy. Yeah, I mean, the Seestar itself dithers every 50 pixels, or dithers every 5 frames 50 pixels. But what people were noticing, or what people were thinking, is that in EQ mode, because field rotation adds a certain amount of kind of dither to, as far as like moving the target to different parts of the sensor, like naturally doing it. When you're in EQ mode, you don't have that, and so people have been suggesting that maybe you do a higher dither if you're in EQ mode, like 200 pixel. And I tried that the other night and it seemed okay. And tonight I'm trying 150. So yeah, it's so, well, it depends. If you're up further north, you get stuff that's you might get some stuff above the horizon more of the evening. But yeah, where we are, the winter Milky Way is kind of getting low in the evening after sunset, and the summer Milky Way doesn't really rise until later in the like early, like after midnight, well after midnight. And so, or at least not in a position where you can image anything. And so you're kind of, you're kind of in galaxies season. Yeah. So once you start getting, I say after midnight, but yeah, it's already starting to get that way. Like last time I was imaging, there's even from home where I have a lot of obstructions with buildings, I've been able to start imaging some stuff like in the Milky Way slightly after midnight. So it's getting bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. And honestly, galaxies aren't too bad. If you pick bigger, brighter ones, they're cool. And there's a lot of them. The one thing I wanted to do, I found a few of them, but they're still a bit small for the Seestars. I wanted to kind of, sometimes when I do the themed live streams, I wanted to do one of like interacting galaxies, because I found a number of them that are bright enough, I think. Now they're not necessarily drastic, but like the antenna, for example, where it's clearly a wreck. Yeah, Sagittarius. Yeah, I think that's what I was seeing. It was kind of like the outer edges of it. And so, yeah, they are cool. And like the last thing I was imaging, the last galaxy, there were a bunch of other little galaxies around it. And there's a couple in this one, but some of them are faint. Yeah, 5 pixels every 4 subs. Yeah. You know, I hadn't been dithering. I wasn't dithering with my refractor, and I started dithering with it, and it made a big difference. Definitely helped a lot. Of course, what helped even more was when I started using flats. That helped a lot. As long as the flats weren't corrupted. That didn't help. That made it much worse. Yeah, for some reason it's like dropping about 20% of the frames. But we're right around that point of 15 minutes, so I think I'm going to move to the next target, which I think I'm going to do Bernice's hair clip, which was suggested by Seiko. Seiko and Stephen came up with some good suggestions. Very helpful. And Jeff. So NGC 4565. Yeah, yeah, that definitely helped. Yeah, I definitely, between using blasting the sensor with some air and the flats, it helped immensely. The images are actually not like painful to look at now. 4565. So let me see, because I had figured out this framing. Oh, there's another one of those object of unknown origin. I always love that. That's fun. This object of unknown origin. It's always like... Hello, Hein, welcome. Named Moon Crater, yeah. Let's see, where was the framing? I thought I had figured out framing. Maybe not. Let's figure this out. Oh yeah. That's where it was. It was to the side. Let me double check. Don't want to go too overboard here. Yeah, let's try, or maybe that. Let's pick, what I'll do is I'll pick a star and stellarium that I can center on. Is that going to be too far, this one? No? Oh. Yeah, that... Let's see if we can get this framing. We'll try, hopefully. The whole point is to get the needle galaxy, and I don't want to come up with framing where it is off the screen. That would be counterproductive. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, let me stop this. Let me stop the madness. Stop. Yes. That looked really cool. All right. So let's pick Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna call this NGC 4565, etc. It's not actually what I said, but I'll say etc. Okay, let's go. All right. So it is going. Full moon craters, including are you talking about random named moon craters? I mean, there are a lot of very random names of craters on the moon. Very, very much so. Okay. All right. That went quickly. So now the moment of truth. How is the framing? Okay, got it as one frame. And I'm gonna have to, there we go. Definitely gonna try, okay, doing this sideways again. Because there is gonna be potentially, so the only downside is I have it off center. But again, there's method to my madness theoretically. There's definitely some more gradient on this, but there should end up being some galaxies over here. One somewhere, I think this around here. And one somewhere up here, at least. And actually, there might be one back here as well. But for now, I'll just zoom in on the Needle galaxy. Let's see. How is the exposure doing? So far it's got 12 frames and no drops, so you can see the nice dust lane in the middle there. It's like looking at it right edge on. And that one is, how far away is this one? It's also known as Caldwell 38. It's between 30 and 50 million light years away. Yeah. Berenices. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that one's a nice one. Nice, very edge-on spiral. Did I miss? Oh. Well, I moved it off screen instead of making it smaller, and so we were losing the galaxy in the lower right of Jeff's. It's M11. also from Starfront, M97 and M108. Man, that moon. I'm happy with what we're getting, even in spite of the moon. So let me look at this, see if we get. Yeah, some of these faint fuzzies over here are galaxies. And there was one after that effort of framing it. They're not exactly popping out, so that's okay. Maybe they'll show up more with more time. And then there was one somewhere. Is that one? That might be one. And then supposedly there's one somewhere in here. Hopefully behind the label. The faint fuzzy galaxy. Exactly. That's the technical name for it now. I don't know. It's definitely a faint. There's a few faint fuzzies in there. But yeah, that's looking good. That is a neat one. Oh, that's interesting. The Needle Galaxy is not far away from the Koi Fish Galaxy, which was the other one Seiko had mentioned. Cool. Riverson 11 Bumpies of the Faint Fuzzy Galactic Federation. Nice. Oh man. That could be like a kid's sci-fi story. The Lumpy Bumpians. Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, I just like zoomed in the image. It doesn't seem to have really degraded too badly. And yeah, it's coming in nicely, especially given the moon. I'm happy with it. Yeah, one thing with that zoom, sometimes it'll like the screen will reformat, so yeah, it's something like that. The moon is pretty far along. I mean, pretty it's past the first quarter, going on to full moon. So yeah. just looking for other galaxies in the field of view. Yeah, I think all these, a bunch of these are galaxies. I think they were like 300 million light years away, so. Okay, that's definitely the other NGC galaxy, this one right here. Looks like there's something here too. Hello, Rodney. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Lummy Bumpy. Faint Fuzzy Galactic Federation member. Welcome, Cosmic Ray. Thanks for joining. I like that. LBFFGF member. Oh man. Yeah, that dust lane's coming in nicely. So that galaxy, it's about 40 plus or minus million. It's got 240 globular clusters, which is more than the Milky Way. It has at least 2 satellites, and they are not 100% sure of the shape, but so it's more luminous than Andromeda. They think it's a barred spiral. Yeah, so it's believed to be about 175,000 light years across. So pretty decent size. FFGF is in our DNA. Wild stuff. Yeah, that's. I need to be better about plugging it, but for those who are watching who haven't joined the Discord server, we talk about astronomy, share photos. People will ask for questions, advice, just a variety of things. And Jeff is streaming the below session from his telescope right now that I've pulled on to stream. So he's yeah, actual DNA on the LBFF GF card. Nice. It's a biometric. But yeah, check it out if you haven't already. Nice. Yeah, there's a few little faint fuzzies here. Not a ton of them, but well, I mean, there are a number. And then this one's a little bit brighter. But the main thing is, of course, that one. That card that you deported. Nice. Yeah, so, what else? Yeah, it's only dropped 3 frames. This one's done better. If only, only if you don't know the Faint Fuzzy song. Nice. And then I definitely would get deported. I don't know the Faint Fuzzy song. Here we go. That's about as far as I can zoom it. How far away are we seeing? Yeah, it's good, Mo. This is about 40 million light years away, plus or minus. Now, these, like, on the other side, there's these like little fuzzy galaxies, and I think those are like 300 or 400 million light years away. I'm not sure how far away this one is. I don't know if it's near the other galaxy, like a satellite. Let me look that up. That is that little one, or relatively little one, is that's way over there. Oh, that's NGC 455, which hopefully Stellarium doesn't tell me how far away it is. It is 3. What? That must be a big one. Yeah, this one right here is 300 million light years away. So how far away are those other ones? The tiny ones. Doesn't help. Nope. Sometimes these don't, wait, what? Oh, no. Some of those must be pretty far if that other one is 300 million light years away. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, this one is 300 million light years away, and this one is 40 plus or minus million light years away. So not as far back, not as far away, but reasonably far. It's a lot farther than Mrs. Sawicki's window. Yeah, I mean, like there are definitely stars that we're seeing in that galaxy that are not there anymore, that have since gone supernova. Like even this galaxy, you know, there's lots of stars in there that have gone supernova at some point. And then the one that's 300 million light years away, even more so. Yeah, I don't have the Gaia catalog memorized. Yeah, not quite. Estimate unknown source. Yeah, I mean the problem is, like, some of those galaxies are bigger than others, or brighter, intrinsically brighter, so sometimes I'll, like, it could be yeah. I mean, if you find like a, was it a Cepheid variable, then you can, but yeah, no, and the problem I have is like I'll search, and like the NGC objects, a lot of times the first hit will tell you, will have useful information, but sometimes it won't, and the IC ones are more hit or miss, and then it starts really kind of falling apart. Yeah, it is definitely incomprehensible. You could say anything, that's true. I could just make numbers up, but I don't. I like being at least, you know, at least pretend I'm, or not pretend, I at least try to be accurate, do my due diligence. I mean, partly just for my own sake. I like knowing how far these things are away. Most honest YouTuber. Yeah, maybe yeah, I was looking at, like, there's these live streams where it's like Betelgeuse is exploding, and it's like a blurry photo of something that's red that may or may not even be a star, and it's like, and they'll have thousands of views. It's like, come on. Hey, like way out there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. It does help the live streams. AI image of my Cocoon exploding. I'm not gonna, yeah, I mean, some of those, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Definitely have to keep the pedal to the metal when flying there. Exactly. Gotta get, I'm holding out for the, was it Albuquerque drive or whatever? The warp drive based on relativity solution that may not be physically possible, but it's still fun to think about. LQB Air, yes, thank you. The LQB Air drive, which actually reminds me, I need to, yeah, maybe that'll be a thing for another day. I was playing around with Space Engine, which I know I'm late to the party if you've already been using it, but it's in Steam, and it's like a universe simulator. It's got some real objects. It does synthesized planets. It's kind of, I'm more interested in the real object kind of aspect of it, and I was playing around with it, and they've done some relativity related stuff, and I was looking at yeah, so I was looking at the black hole Sagittarius A, and it was kind of cool because, like, it's not necessarily exactly it's not the way it would look exactly, but it's doing some calculations based on the curvature of space-time as you're looking at it and kind of moving around it, and it was kind of cool. I might do a stream about that. Maybe I'll do that on a Discord thing. Yeah, I think they did get rid of at least some of the need for negative mass. I think just like that was the same problem with wormholes. Like, there were equations for wormholes where you needed like the mass of Betelgeuse to keep it open, or to open it up, and then they got it down to like the energy mass of Jupiter or something. And even then, I think the thing was like, as soon as anything went into the wormhole, it would collapse. it's, I don't know. NGC 891. No, this is NGC, it's NGC 4565, which is known as the Needle Galaxy, or Berenice's hair clip. And if you're talking about the all-sky camera, that is the moon. It is blasting on the all-sky camera. Yeah, positive curvature. Yeah. The one thing that I always thought that was fun about if it was physically possible to have a negative mass, it would have some interesting properties. Like it might have negative momentum. Yeah, because it's like the vector is, anyway, the thought was, if you had a mass of positive and negative mass equal absolute values of mass, but one's positive, one's negative, the positive one would basically they would kind of accelerate off in a line because the net momentum would remain zero or something like that. It was something kind of weird. Anyway, I forgot how many seats on a burger roll. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, curving space-time is next level problems. But yeah, I think I'm gonna move on to the next one. This one's gone 128 frames, only 8 drops, so this one did pretty well. So I'm gonna go let me go cancel that. So stop. Let's start some gears on the Babbage machine. Yeah, I've wanted to 3D print a difference engine. Like there's instructions out there or designs out there for that. So we're going on now to the NGC 4559, the koi fish galaxy, which is about 44 million light years away, apparently. And let's get going. It should be able to, the telescope should be able to slew there pretty quickly because it's really close by in the sky. Standing gravitational waves left over from... You have no way to confirm it or do the math. Yeah, that's interesting. Put in a pre-order for the Rain Star. Yeah. The dinosaurs running up a hill, up a cliff. Okay. Oh, it's already a little bit there. Maybe over zoomed. Now I don't recall ever imaging this one, or at least not I don't remember getting much from it, but I don't think I tried it from Starfront. I think I only tried it from here. Let me see. Oh, that's good. I think the rain has passed. That's good. Like I say, when I started the live stream, it was thundering for a bit. It's supposed to rain here again at like 4 or 5 in the morning. But at least it's not, at least the bulk of it's passed. It's been a narrow gauge rain filter. I like that. They have a power distribution box? Okay, no. That got my attention. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That would be unfortunate. That's one thing I always worry about, some of those power distribution units, that it's gonna like mess something up. I mean, like the cheap ones, but then again, you know, I didn't realize they had one. What's the model number of it? Power box. Oh, they even have it on Amazon. No. Is that it? They have it on Amazon. $60. No way. How in the world? How in the world? Unswitched does 5 and Nicola does wireless power distribution. That would be fun. I always liked the beamed power thing. I always thought that would be kind of cool. I mean, we have Wi-Fi. Why not go all the way and just have wireless power? Why not? Yeah, unswitched. That might be okay for my home, for home use. Because really, I just need the power to go to the mount and the camera. Yeah. How much amperage does it have? It also has power over USB, no data transfer, but the dew heater I have is actually USB powered, so that would work for that. It's actually got 6 power outputs, but I guess it's cheap because it's switched. PC data interface. Oh, it does have, so it has a USB 2 for power, but then it actually has USB ports for data. Supports up to 10 amps, which is how much my power supply is, so that's plenty. Only needed for the computer, camera mounts, computer is beefy. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd use it for the dew heater too. What happened to all the wind-up toys? Wind-up toys. Oh, yeah, not needing power. Yeah, everything's battery powered. We had these when the kids were little. We had this one toy. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. It was like for toddlers, and it would start playing the song when you moved it, but you couldn't. There was no off switch for it. So we'd pick it up to like put it away, and it would start this 5-minute sequence of playing the song. And I don't even remember that it, like, I think it may have had replaceable batteries, but they were like screwed inside of a panel so the kids couldn't get it out. But it was like such a nightmare. Or what was worse is you'd pick it up and you'd put it and okay, fine, it does its thing and it's done. But you just bump into the toy basket and it would like go off again. Or it would start, I think when it was like running low on battery, it would just start going off like randomly. Or like there'd be vibration on the floor and it would just start playing its thing. Stop. That might be based on a true story. Weight-driven E-cube out. I mean, that's true. Like you could have like, I swear you just have like a heavy weight and it just slowly unspools. Then so you'd still be able to run your telescope if a Carrington event happened. Of course, you couldn't use a camera, but at least your scope would still be tracking. That would be interesting. I do remember. Oh well, they were most of the ones I remember were like the hand cranked ones, like where you do the piano hinge star tracker, and they'd have like a hand crank. You crank it like once a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can bring... Let me see if I can bring this up without dragging down my computer. So please let me know if the stream starts acting up. Hopefully it won't. But you never know. You never knew. This computer has like 8 cores, and so far they're not all pegged, so that's a good sign. just wanted to make sure I'm not broadcasting this. Let's see if this will work. I'm just going to briefly bring this on if I can. See, will this work? There we go. I just let me hide this while I figure out something over here. Like I say, this might be something I end up messing around with on Discord. Gravity light. Have you seen? Oh God. Yeah, that's yeah, that's yeah. Actually, did you bring up 2001: A Space Odyssey? That one also worked out. The AI there worked out pretty well. Let me bring this on real quick. I'm just gonna. One thing I thought was kind of interesting about this is it's off. Oh, that's cool. And I mean, they said, what is it? Computer vision is like one of the most, or image-related AIs, some of the most mature AI. Yeah. Here. So this was, I'm just bringing this on real quickly. But it lets you, so this is what I was talking about with the relativity. So this is the black hole Sagittarius A, and you can kind of, like the warping is based on the actual kind of equations. Yeah, I need to play around with it some more. I might do it on a Discord stream just because it's looks pretty cool. And they have they had some simulations of like the Alcubierre warp bubbles, which is kind of cool. yeah, this one's pretty wicked. It was so here's a simulation. No, not an ad, come on, no ad. So it's showing like the warp bubble kind of going in, turning on, as it were. That is so trippy. That is, I have a hard time processing what I'm seeing there. And then the perspective inside. Everything looks okay. Except then that weirdness behind when the bubble shuts off, I guess. Or no, that's going out of the bubble, the warp bubble. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. What is that? What am I listening to? But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so but yeah, anyway, so kind of cool. But I want to play around with that space engine. Remote sensing, that's cool. Throw another black hole at it. Yeah, I mean, I think it was like, at least that video was like a work in progress. So I don't know what the current state of it is, but like first they had done, I guess some relativity kind of simulation, math for like black holes and wormholes and stuff. But then, yeah, then I guess they were able to do the Alcubierre drive. Yeah, exactly. No, it's kind of interesting, but yeah, I've just started playing around with it. Let me see. Oh. I was wondering. Never mind. So yeah, let's. All right. So this one, how much data do we have on this one? It is up to 100 frames for dropped. So that's doing pretty well. So that's the koi fish galaxy. Let me look. There was an... Let's go look at and see what other one. I was thinking of doing NGC 4490. Is that cloud on the all sky? Let's see. Let me bring up a... Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's an artifact or... Let's look at a loop. Yeah, that's an artifact of the lens. That's good. Either that or the clouds are following the moon. Yeah, no, because that, it's like, oh great. Thought it was supposed to be clear. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, so I think we're okay. At least for now. At least for now. Okay, so what's the exposure time? So it's 1 second. No, it's actually like 60 seconds. Although it's in like moon mode, so I think it does shorter exposures, or I reduce the gain or something. I don't know. But usually when it's dark, it's like 60 seconds. Let me see, what is it? The exposures are 18 seconds right now. I guess it's adaptive based on the brightness, but it's probably overexposing the moon to get more stars in the field, so you can see a decent amount of stars. Let's see. Oh, nice. Let me see. Copy link. Let me, oops, try doing this without, hopefully, without an ad. Yep, I did it off screen and sure enough, it's an ad. Of course, I opened the wrong link. Actually, before I forget, I should drop this link, the one for the LQBR drive. Copy. Oh, that's why. Yeah, no worries. It's random arrow on, so it's all random. Let's try this. Wow. That is impressive. That is a big eruption. Oops. No. No. Stop trying to help me. Yeah, there you go. I mean, right? Earth is a planet. Planets are part of astronomy. Therefore, Earth science is just a subset. Oh, nice. That is huge. Jeez. Well, I'll drop a link in the description. I mean, in the chat. Just don't stop watching this video. You can open another window. There we go. Stop. I need to stop that video because now it's trying to help me and do picture-in-picture. Do not recognize round smooth Earth. Yeah, there you go. I think we could create our own. Create a whole backstory behind about the lumpy bumpians. That's cool. It's got kind of definitely a more bluish color to it. So what I was thinking of doing is NGC 4490. Let me see if there's anything nearby worth imaging. I'll just do 4490 by itself. And it's pretty high in the sky, so that's good. So let's stop this. That was a cool one. Like I say, I think I've tried the koi fish galaxy and I never really got anything decent because I did it from here. So okay, cool. So let's, all right, retrieve. Okay, Cocoon galaxy and go. Two hours queued up. That's when I hit the trees. Oh, cool. Oh, 2 hours iris. That should be nice. Okay, it is still going. Plate solving. Sunny Bono. Yes. Yes, please. That's oh wow. That's impressive. But you have a nice you have a decent sized refractor, to say, which is kind of an understatement, but okay. Okay, that's a little too fuzzy, so this is NGC 4490, the Cocoon galaxy, which also is kind of yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, 6-inch refractor. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty good. I just realized my laptop's not plugged in. Let me fix that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's why you keep blowing out things when you're trying to image them. Your thing's too fast. Need to slow down. Slow it down. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because, like, I was looking at the F4 Newtonians with a 0.75 reducer, which would get it to F3. So, yeah. Yeah, go faster. Yeah. Yeah, Seiko, yeah, that's way too slow for Seiko. I do think that would be pretty cool. That's true. You do have F10. That's true. But you also have F2. So the reason I wanted to image this one is because this one does curve over this way. It's interacting with the other one. And the other one is NGC 4485. And both of these are 33 million light years away, apparently. Yeah, I need to. I'm thinking I might. I don't know. I've been debating doing a dark sky trip towards the end of the month, but we'll have to see. I had wanted to go. They had a evening open house star party at the VLA during the new moon, but I had some stuff going on, and on the Monday afterwards, and I couldn't. It's like over 1,000 miles away from here, so it was too much of a drive to get back for Monday morning. But maybe I'll go out to Fort Davis, out in West Texas, instead, just to and I'll bring along if I do it, I'll bring along the refractor. Plus the Seestars. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, does anybody have any other suggestions tonight? I'm probably not going to go super late tonight, mostly because I have to be up early in the morning. And plus, I plan on doing a Discord stream tomorrow evening. So, stream to Discord from Starfront. So if you want to, yeah. So, are there any? I mean, I'm not about to stop this. It's just starting to show some details. So. But if anybody has suggestions. By the way, I used to talk about how I was having a problem with my mouse disappearing, and I couldn't figure out what was happening on this laptop that I use for kind of the picture-in-picture, or the web browsers from the laptop. And I realized earlier what the problem was. Turns out there was the power adapter. The power cable goes into a monitor, and but the monitor is not, it's on a different device, and so there was a hidden screen that I didn't realize, and so when it really was disappearing, it was just on the hidden screen. So I figured it out. I outsmarted myself or something. Hate it when that happens. Let's see. Yeah, oof. I was afraid of that. Yeah, so, yeah, I was just going to mention it for those. So what's this target? This is NGC 4490, the Cocoon galaxy. So it's an interacting galaxy. I mean, it's not huge, so trying to, but it's like big and bright enough with the Seestar that I thought I'd give it a try. And you can't completely, I mean, you can kind of tell it's curved there, and that's because it's interacting with this over here. It's NGC 4490 and 4485. Or was that a suggestion to do 4605? Oh. Suggestion. It is above the horizon. Yeah, maybe I'll point at that. The only problem is the field of view. So would I do, yeah, the whole area is cool. Like, would I just do 4605 or like NGC 6144 is kind of cool, or maybe I'll just start with that, and maybe on a when the weather is when the conditions are clear, I mean when the moon's out of the way, I'll try more. Oh, and there's dark nebula near there. Dang. Yeah, the whole area is cool. It's on the list. So I wanted to mention something about Quiv the Lazy Geek. If you've watched his YouTube, I don't know if you had seen, he had posted a day ago this very terse message on his community post. Basic, I'll bring it up. It was shoot, where did mouse. It was let me try to make this larger. Of course that didn't help. There we go. Said, sorry guys, got in an accident and in hospital, won't be able to make videos for a while. And it was like very terse, and he posted this on YouTube on his community board, and he posted it on Patreon. And it was a little concerning because like accident And I was wondering, because I was like, was it a car accident or some other kind of accident? Like, it's like people fall down the stairs or slip or whatever. But he also does, is it like paragliding? Something? And I was like wondering if that was the accident he had, and because someone said, I hope he didn't fall off the roof, and he said no, he fell out of the air. So yeah, he's like reacting to stuff, so he's but yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that. Go watch his videos so he keeps getting views. No, I was like, hope he recovers quickly without too many problems. Yeah, that whole area would be a mosaic. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, it's always, yeah, it's don't want to, and I mean, it was Quiv's video that pushed me over the edge to pre-order the original the Seestar, like almost 2 years ago now. It would have been like the summer of 2023 that I pre-ordered it. So I found his videos, they also kind of helped me get not into astrophotography. They prompted me to try it in the city. Since he's in Tokyo, I figure, like, and he's able to get good results. I was like, well, maybe I should give it a try, because I hadn't really tried urban astrophotography in a long time, and it didn't go well back then. But yeah, so it was kind of I mean, the good thing is he's like responding to messages, so he's but the original terseness was a little concerning. Yeah, this is kind of turning out the way I had hoped it would. Because this is the way it looks. It's the Cocoon. I guess it looks like a cocoon. And this is the zoomed in stellarium view of it, but you can see how it kind of curves like that. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I mean, that was one of my thoughts. I was like, oh, because people were like falling off, hope he didn't fall off the roof. And I was thinking, like, he shoots from that rooftop deck, and if he was like carrying, I mean, if he was carrying something up or down the stairs, that could be, I mean, that can really mess you up. But yeah, just taking counterweight to the head, that would also mess you up. And that's one of the things I'm most leery about, my ambition, my desire to get like a large Newtonian, because I thought 8-inch, but lately I've been kind of leaning towards getting a 10 or 12-inch, and the 12-inch one's, the tube alone is like 60 pounds. So the mount and counterweight, it would be a lot. Could definitely hurt myself with that. I mean, that's always one of my fears when I'm taking counterweights off, that And they're not even like that heavy that I drop one on my foot. 7380. So let me look at that. These are great targets. NGC 7380, and then the other one was IC 4605. But let me see 7380. Where is 70? Yeah, well, I'm even worse. I usually have I just have sandals on, like not flip-flops, but just like the ones with a strap on top, just kind of slip-ons, and so my toes are exposed. And I've actually, where I bring in the telescope, it's through a patio door, and it's up a little bit, and there's this metal flashing underneath the patio door, and it's like razor sharp, and I've gashed my toe open twice now. One of the most recent time I either bringing a scope, I think I was bringing the scope in, or I was setting up and I came in, and I bleed for astronomy. At least I did that day. So yeah, that was, and there were I had a couple near misses where I dropped something and almost landed on my foot, and I was like, I need to get steel toe boots or something, start walking around the house with those on. Yeah, exactly. I started, might have to have steel toe boots. But yeah, like like metal flashing, that stuff can be like razor sharp, and it's underneath kind of the edge of the patio, like the sliding door, and it goes down, and so it's like in an area that they probably didn't think someone would hit, but like I'm carrying it, and I left my foot just a little late, and so it came up and slashed into anyway, I won't go into more detail. Yeah, exactly. Filament 11 F2, but it was worth it, man, for the F2. It was so worth it. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that Cocoon is turning out well. I'm given how terrible the moon looks. That's actually turning out pretty nicely. So let me look up 7380. Yeah, so now I've gotten in this weird, if anybody saw me doing it, they think like I do almost this high step thing as I'm approaching the patio door, because I'm so afraid of like gashing my toe again, that I like lift it's almost exaggerated. I'm like trying to lift my foot up way ahead of time so I don't hurt myself again. Ooh. Ouch. Go shopping barefoot. I mean, I walk around, I'll walk to the mailbox barefoot. That's like a block away, on the street. The street is fairly clean, like not as far as like not having a lot of sharp stuff, but it's still concrete. And so, yeah, I walk around barefoot. No, this is actually the Seestar. It's just I'm zoomed in massively. Like that's the field of view. It's a pretty decent size object, but yeah, I just have zoomed in like it gave up on life that day. Yeah, that would hurt. That would definitely hurt. But yeah, I see. That's the other reason why I think the Newtonian. Maybe that's going to be like my goal for a year from now, next galaxy season, is to have that Newtonian because it's not as high of a focal length as my as the reflector I have. That's 1800 millimeters, but a 12-inch f4 would be like 1200 millimeters, something like that. So not as much, but still pretty decent. But f4 with a foot wide mirror, like, I think that would be awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's just that I don't know. I'm just trying to think. If you have a bigger sensor, like you'd have a narrower field of view, but the Seestar sensor is pretty small. So if you have a bigger sensor, that would probably help even that out, where maybe it's about the same. The floating trail leads to right to the scope. Ouch. Yeah, exactly. I've done that before, where I was like, I had just gotten my, I had just gotten the, my cooled camera, and I dropped it. Like, I had literally just gotten it a few months ago, and I dropped it, but my foot broke, like, it broke the fall of it. It like kind of bounced and then landed on my foot. So it hurt, but at least it hurt less, honestly. The fact that I helped break its fall did make it hurt a bit less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'd be like Dr. Strangelove next to my telescope. Anyway, I don't know if that was a good mad scientist, I guess, is what I was going with that. Yeah, F4 would be awesome. This is turning out pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy with that, again, because of the moon conditions. And it does seem to have like the bluish, whitish bluish color I was expecting. So yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. Let me look. So the Wizard Nebula was NGC 7380. I was thinking about that one recently, actually. Where is it? Oh, it just rose. That's too low. But that might be a little later. And which direction is it? Oh, and it's in a direction that's difficult. See, the problem is, from Starfront, east and west, like north of east, like east to west on the north side, I don't have as much, I can't see as low. I haven't figured out how low I can see, but anything less than like 30 degrees, I'm always a little leery of. Because not only do I have the wall behind the telescope. So like if you look at the all sky camera, and you see the other Seestar, basically there's a wall that would be behind them on the left side out of frame. So I can't see too low that direction. But then also I have a Seestar next to me. And so that kind of, because I'm on an equatorial mount, like depending on how I have it pointed, that can start interfering. So, brings you CW. That would be the, yeah, exactly. That would be for some reason, I can't remember. There was something like that where I was like, it was the, of course, even getting injured, I end up getting injured in some, yeah, like dropping a camera, astronomy camera on my foot. Blue Horsehead. Yeah, I mean, so the Wizard is too low, but then that other one, that you suggested, IC 4605, is high enough at this point. And it's to the southeast, which is fine. And I tried the Blue Horsehead, and I think I'll try it again, but only on a dark night. So I'll try IC. We'll see how it goes. IC4. North and south. South, I'm good. I mean, south I can image down. Like I can get stuff 7, 8, or 8 degrees above the horizon to the south. Like Omega Centauri, it doesn't even have to be fully up, and I can image it. So that I'm pretty good with. And like just south of due east and west, I can see pretty low, like less than 10 degrees above the horizon. Because the telescope is like on a shelf on the north wall of the building with scopes on each side. So if you think about it, like I can see pretty far low to the east and west because the scope itself is higher than the side walls, so it's higher than the buildings next to it. So it can see pretty much just about to the horizon, and I know it's about to the horizon because, or at least based on the all sky camera, it says how far above the horizon the sun is, and I can see sunlight on the scope next to me, like the shadow of my scope on the scope next to me, and the sunlight, like you can see the shadow, and the shadow goes away when the sun is right around 1 degree above the horizon or 0. Like it's literally there until it, like, basically the sun is set, and then it disappears. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I can literally see to the horizon. Yeah, that Cocoon is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way it is at home. I can see down to like maybe 20 degrees. Like I call it the canyon because it's like this area between buildings where I can see lower. And so when I image things like the Dolphin Nebula, or try to, that's when I can image those when they appear, but I only get like an hour when the object is kind of passing through that area. But at Starfront, it's pretty low. Or I mean, like, now this, I need to refresh this because it's, but yeah, you can see, so the camera is basically like at the same level as the shelf. Like you can see the shelf. This is the shelf that the Seestars are on, and this is the building, and you can see, like, basically I can see pretty low to the east and west and due south. Like, yeah, pretty low. Yeah, that's about what it is here at home. And so that was when I dropped my, and it ended up being fortuitous because the people who originally had Seestars there weren't, like, the shelf was a new thing. They were mounted on piers, so they could, I think they were telling me, like, they could see things down to 10, 20 degrees above the horizon. But from the, yeah, I need to, because I've done the, what do you call it? There's a few of them. Like I've seen Stephen image a few of them. I'm going to try this IC 4605. But let me see. Is there anything? Like there's a few neat ones. Like the Tweezer image, the southern pinwheel. That's pretty high. That's relatively high for me. The tweezers. Yeah, the tweezers. Actually, maybe let me try the tweezers first. Yeah, let me try the tweezers. I think I can do that. I'm going to try to actually, again, yeah, I'm going to frame it a little differently. How do the tree leaves know where all the good targets are? I know, right? Lagoon, Triffid, Ophi, wide field. Yeah, that would be cool. Oh, hello, AstroX. Yeah, hi, Harsh. They're a planet or astrologically under all the best signs. Nice. All right, I'm going to stop this. So this is the Cocoon. That turned out pretty well. How much time did I get on it? Oh, a little over half an hour. Cool. This has actually been turning out better than I had hoped tonight. Given the moon, I mean, just like, well, there you go. So that would be a good target for me to try right now, because it's about as high as it would be for me. All right, so let's try this. How far above the horizon? I need to check that. How far above the horizon is this? Gonna be 10 degrees above the horizon. There you go. Pretty low. Actually, it's 10 degrees from here, so from Starfront, it's like 9 degrees above the horizon. Yeah. You have the opposite problem. M81, M82 is yeah, a little, yeah, problematic. Have to make a trip. Okay, so still trying to, it's going to the target. Okay, it got there. So now it's starting to image. So we'll see how this goes. No story about the little quasar that was bullied. Not today. I mean, we did have the lumpy bumpy, whatever. Yeah. They're never above the horizon. Maybe chilly. That would be cool. Yeah. Okay. I hope I didn't mess up here. I just realized, did I mess up? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Because I intentionally framed it off center because I was trying to get another galaxy too, but it's right here. It's just really faint right now. It's still coming in, I think. It's not that faint, but then again, this is really low, so this might not be great, but we'll see. You felt so silly saying lumpy bumpy so long. No, it's just I didn't want to. I was trying to remember the exact wording. I didn't want to insult the lumpy bumpians by miss saying their name wrong. You can only go to Chili's. That's true. I haven't been to Chili's in years. Yeah. Harsh, yeah. But yeah, don't wanna pronounce their name wrong. But yeah, Chili's, that's about all. That's about all I've so there's the tweezers, but it's a little faint. Microwave stick at home. Nice. Oh man. That's funny. You're not wrong. Oh my gosh, I remember like there were some desserts there, or there was some food there, like was it the Awesome Blossom or something like that? It was like a week of your RDA of fat and salt or something like that. Oh my gosh. Good stuff. that was yeah, that stuff was pretty bad, or I shouldn't say pretty bad, not yeah. Exactly, 12,000 calories. I mean, I remember, yeah, and I remember like I'd been there and like had this enormous meal, and then they come, it's like, do you want dessert? And it's like, it would kill me. It literally would kill me. I don't think I could. Yeah, nope. And so once I ended up going there and just having dessert, because I literally had not ever had dessert there, because I never could. Yeah, yeah. That was interesting. Was that on on Discord or something, where it's like there's some areas in that desert that have literally may never have recorded rain, and some areas of the desert only get 1 to 3 millimeters of rain a year, which is just crazy. That is not. Kilauea is still looking amazing. Do I still have it up? Nice. I see Cheap Astro had a video come out yesterday on upgrading focuser on his old Newtonian. Alright, I'm getting distracted. Kilauea, there we go. Here we go. Wow. And it's like, it's dark there now, so it looks pretty impressive. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Oh, is that the picture-in-picture video? Let me close that. Boy, I'm not getting much with the tweezers. I may have to try this again on a night without the moon, because I have a feeling that's not helping me. Like, it's so low, it's really struggling. Oh man. Bummer. That's rough. That is rough. there's the other galaxy, but it's definitely struggling. But there is the Tweezer slowly coming in. That's 5 minutes so far. Let me see if there's anything else down there that I could image. That might be worth checking out. Or at least of things that I haven't imaged recently. Ouch. Yeah, exactly. What is it I would tell my kids sometimes? It's like, don't worry, years from now you'll look back at this and you'll still have a bad taste in your mouth about it. Yep. Always the optimist. That's cool. Yikes. So, yeah. That is... Wow. Kept up by the dumb lie. Tweezer's on live stream. Let me check. Oh, nice. Nice. So the fuzzy thing I'm getting, this is, so 72 minutes from New Zealand, you get this. That looks awesome. Look at that. I mean, I think it would take me more than 72 minutes, but, and I have a feeling I'd have to do it on a night where I think the light pollution from the moon isn't helping me at this point. And you got that galaxy there. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's really struggling. But again, it's only 9 degrees above the horizon, so it's pretty low. It's doing pretty well. It hasn't dropped. It's only dropped 1 frame out of 50. So I'll let it go for a bit longer. Let's see. Let me look. Galileo's brother. Wow, there are a lot of galaxies around there. I'm looking around the southern pinwheel, and I see a lot of galaxies. Not necessarily in the frame of view, but just in that area. Is there some cluster near there? Must be. Said a lot of dumb stuff. Yeah, I'm used to getting in trouble, so I didn't used to, but Fly's Wing Galaxy? What is this? I'm looking around farther south for things. That one's kind of tiny. For the Seestar, it would be kind of tiny. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, there was one point where I was like, just between work and extended family, I was like, my whole life is a series of awkward conversations. That was an interesting few years. It's kind of like one of the things where nobody else wants to have a conversation, so like, it's like, fine, I'm used to just everything being awkward, so I'll do it. What was that other one? 44. Anomalous nebula. Yeah. NGC 3621. Where's that one? Oh, that's an interesting one. That is 18 degrees above the horizon. Only concern is that's getting a little closer to the moon, but maybe I'll try it since this Tweezers isn't how bright is this one? Yeah, I'll try this one. I'll try that one. So I'm gonna stop this. It's gone for 11 minutes. It's not, but it's, yeah, I think the extreme low lack of altitude in the sky combined with the moon is definitely not helping. So let's try. I'll try this NGC 3621. That one's a bit higher. It's the Frame Galaxy, also known as the Frame Galaxy. So and it's in a direction that I shouldn't have a problem imaging that low. There's a lot of interesting galaxies that direction. I mean, just again, is there some cluster like near the southern pinwheel? Because I just see like, I mean, I have IC and NGC and PGC, UGC catalogs turned on, and I just see like the kind of galaxies I would see around like the Coma cluster and stuff. Like, is there some cluster in this area? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because there's like so many galaxies there. It's okay. That's a it's a cached image. That's not the current one. It's stacked one or it has one image and 2 drops, which isn't a great start. The problem is this is looking a little bit more towards the moon, so I'm not sure. No, doesn't seem too bad. My concern is if it gets a little too close and the moonlight starts hitting the front element, then it really ends up deteriorating. Gotta go look at the LHB. Yep, pretty much. Or C7. Yeah, I'll look at that. But so far it's that one is, oh, but the problem is that one's kind of low northwest, so I think that would be a little iffy. C7, that is. That is faint again, I think. So like Omega Centauri? Is that what you're... Still trying, I'm figuring out what is the... Oh. Um, 4696. Sorry, I'm like 4696. Yeah, okay. So, wow. So what I was I was looking at, this is what I was seeing. Like, so here's Centaurus A, and the southern pinwheel is here. But then I was looking around and just like so many galaxies, and I was trying to figure it out. Apparently there is a Centaurus A M83 group, but that is a nearer group. But then there is a Centaurus cluster, which is the Centaurus cluster is farther away, and it has hundreds of galaxies, and NGC 4696 is the brightest member. So yeah, in this area, that's the Centaurus cluster. So that's what it is, with hundreds of galaxies, so it was bugging me. I needed to know. Oh, of course you answered. Yeah, direction and so yeah. I was literally looking through a list of a bunch of clusters and found it. Whoa, that's impressive. 1/50th of an arc second, and you can put 500 pounds on it almost. Yikes. Yeah. It told Herschel that he polished the speculum mirror. Nice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this one is kind of a bit. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Pretty fun. That would be awesome. 45.95. Yeah, I don't. 45.95. That would be funny. You set up the mountain, they're like at a star party, and people are like, man, what kind of scope are you attaching to it? It's like, nope, just me with a pair of binoculars. Just, oh man. Oh my gosh. Iota's Ghost. It's a fairly faint small one, and it's low, so I think all that might be a challenge. Oh. No? Yeah, I think some of these things I might want to revisit when the moon's not up, because I think I'd get better results with some of these without the moon, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they're just too faint. Nice. I'm sure I have a feeling you'll get some really amazing result with your scope. Yeah, this one's also not. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll try Centaurus A. Just because I know what that looks like, and I can figure out the like what the conditions are like based on that. Because if it's kind of lackluster, I'll know it's because of the moon or some other issues with the conditions. Do it. Yep. I'm about to. Huge purple halo. Embrace the purple. I mean, there are de-purpling kind of. All right. Let's see. Like I say, Centaurus A, at least I know. I've imaged it before, and I know. And I'd like to have more time on it anyway, so it's a good excuse to try it out tonight. Okay, let me kick this off. Now, how high above the horizon is Centaurus A? It is 16 degrees above the horizon, but it's a excuse me, it's a pretty bright galaxy. It's 6.8 magnitude. So that probably helps a lot. High-tech river launcher. I like that. I like that. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, yeah. Or it just started shooting everything in black and white for, you know, for effect. You'll say it's $2,000. How much do they usually go for? Or did they go for? Looking at a mono camera. Cool. $2,300. So that's not much of a markdown, right? Yeah, stupid AstroGear 885. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, I wonder, some of it just might be the conditions right now. Let me look here. Let's see, I'm looking up images I have shot of Centaurus A before so we can compare. So this was 10 minutes I had shot on it at some point, but I don't remember what the conditions were. That one was like 20 minutes. That must have been better conditions. And then this was like 40 minutes. Yeah, so that was April 10th. Wait, it was, what date was it? April 16th. April 16th. It must have been after midnight. Yeah, the moon was basically full on that night. Yeah, I looked it up on my handy dandy little web site where this was the session I took it with. There's the Centaurus A, and the moon was like full. But that's starting to come through. I think the moon is definitely a factor. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was trying to compare it to what like I've managed to image, and I do think the moon is interfering because I was able to get, I mean, it's with like 40 minutes I was able to get that, but I think it was like during a new moon, or I don't think the moon was around, but we'll see. I'll let this go for a bit longer. I was just trying to see how it looked with from where I imaged, or when I imaged it before. What am I looking for? I was actually trying to see. Yeah, I was looking for the image. I can't find it. What? Roof is closing. What? I just got a, well, we might be done. It's sometimes delayed on the all sky camera because of the, for reasons, but let me see. Like, sometimes they'll close it because of humidity. Yep, the roofs are closing, so you can see them blurring. Great. Fantastic. Well, that was unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's humidity. Like, the moon, they won't close it for moon. They'll close it for wind or moon, or wind or humidity. So it was one of the two. And it's automated. Is it wind? Because they had a humidity spike a few days ago, and the roofs closed early. Yep, see, it's all dark. And sometimes the cameras are a little bit behind. Let me see. Let's try to be funny. No, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, sometimes it's like, why even bother, honestly? It's like, we're just saving you from disappointment. No, let me see. Supposedly, it says it's... I'm still getting frames. So was that a misfire? Okay. Thanks. Thanks for dropping by, or thanks for joining. Enjoy the ramen, and have a good rest of your evening. It's still adding frames. Oh no, it isn't. It says stack error, too few stars. Huh. I wonder why there's too few stars. Well, that's the final state, I guess, of Centaurus A. Let me try to figure out why it closed. Let's see if they say why. Let's see. It is funny. Somebody posted, "Today is a good day," and then like half an hour later, people are like, "You jinxed it." Oh my gosh. That's funny. Let me see. I'm going to stop this since there's no point in continuing it. Let me see if I can figure out what the problem was. Okay. They have like a weather thing at Starfront. Wow, 1 minute, so close and yet so far. That's rough. Let me see them. Maybe the easiest would be just for me to remote into that box. Nope, wrong one. Let me try to log in. What? Let's try again. There we go. All right. Let me view and look at the weather and oh yeah, humidity. So this is their weather, kind of their local weather. Like they have sensors and stuff, so when it gets close to the dew point, they see where that. Anyway, this is the humidity, and you can see it's getting close to 100%. So that was that must have been it, because they don't want all the telescopes soaked in dew. That would probably not be good for them. Yeah, looking at this, yeah, the humidity, the wind is minimal, so it was the humidity, closed for humidity reasons. Oh well, I just realized though it's 12:30 here locally, so that's fine. I have early meetings anyway, so yeah, it was good. It while it lasted, it was a lot better than I expected tonight, given the moon. The moon's going to be problematic because it's just getting more and more full. So, but I am going to try, like I say, tomorrow night, I think it's going to be okay at Starfront, but I'll probably do like a live stream on Discord. And what's it going to be like later in the week? Time to switch to the Seestar. Yeah, need to have a lava-proof Seestar though. Tomorrow evening it could even possibly be clear here. Friday night looks good here. And yeah, tomorrow night at Starfront looks fine. Friday night might be okay. So yeah, I'm thinking Discord tonight, tomorrow night, and then I'll do another live stream maybe Friday. But yeah, I think that's it though for tonight. It did seem to like I said, it turned out better than I expected, so I think it was all good. And now I don't have to figure out what I'm going to image for the rest of the night after I sign off, because the observatory is closed. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Like I say, keep an eye out. If you haven't joined the Discord server, link is in the channel description. But I do plan on I'll probably stream later in the week to YouTube. But before I ramble anymore, I think that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Jeff, for sharing your scope. And hope everybody has a good rest of your night. Bye. See you next time.